welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week, and thank you to everybody who has been sharing the love of Critical Hit online and those fantastic reviews you've been leaving again over at iTunes, or I guess you can't call it iTunes, you got to call it the Apple Podcasts.
Call it iTunes if you want.
No, because Apple gets mad and they're like, well, we're not going to feature you on the site anymore. So we call it Apple Podcasts. So, hey, welcome everybody. Matthew's here, and Brian's here, and Rob is here, and Sam is here, and Rodrigo is here to lead us on an adventure. So, Rodrigo, please take it away.
So, last time...
On Critical Hit.
On Critical Hit.
Paused.
Well,
someone's trying to beat the delay.
That's a 5-yard penalty, Matthew.
Oh, man.
So, what did happen last time?
Snap Stab Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stuck here until the blockade is lifted.
And Goblin Society is theater kids.
Gothy theater kids, right?
Well, at least they're God. I'm not sure about the whole of Goblin Society.
Yeah, you guys are too old, but it's actually scene kids. That's what it is.
Oh. So you're calling me old.
Way to bring ageism into the game, Rodrigo.
2 minutes into the show. Oh. This is going to go well.
Yeah, so we got a god to sign up for us.
Yeah.
We did.
And,
well, we got a soft yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but a yes is a yes.
Medium yes.
It's better than a hard no.
I will take a win any day, no matter how you wrap it.
Yep.
And Magubliet did it in his tight leather pants.
Now I'm picturing Draco Malfoy as the Goblin King.
He's in an absorbing mode. He'll make some new poetry later.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. And
that did happen.
As Sam said, we were waiting around for the blockade to clear.
Yep. So if you recall, the building that you're in has been turned into kind of a set of luxury apartments.
Yes.
And you have been pretty much left alone at this stage with some leftovers and some booze and, kind of the mess from a party.
I wonder, did the band get to stick around or not? Did they have to go too?
No, as soon as Magubliet's out of there, everybody files out.
Oh, boo. It's hoping
possibly
for some music.
Because they have to go play wherever he appears.
Ah, okay.
They have to play his entrance music. Yeah.
Yes.
And then something that sounds like the White Stripes.
Yeah.
Or maybe the yeah, yeah, yeahs. I can't decide what's more goblin-y.
Oh, the Shins.
Foster the people. Yeah.
What? Up with people? You've been drinking too much, Rob. That's the problem. Or
I'm
Cat.
not muted. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Meanwhile... That was fun.
I mean, out of all of the potential things that Rob could have said just then, what is wrong with my character is really about the mildest.
Yeah.
I mean, we all say that when our buttons are muted. What's wrong with Rob's character?
That's true. Anyway, what do you guys do?
We drink some drink and eat some eat.
I guess.
Do some meditations.
Big is this luxury apartment block that we're in now?
So the building itself is 4 stories. So it's not super big, but the area that would normally be taken up maybe by multiple units is really just a single unit. So imagine like what would normally be 4 small apartments just without any walls or maybe a few structural walls in between. And it's just kind of like a lounge and, a room basically being turned into a big studio apartment with some like fancy furniture.
Now, we're not displacing any poor goblin souls, are we?
When you guys got here, there weren't any goblins here.
It was empty.
It was empty, yeah.
Yeah, but was there a waiting list for this place to be refurbished and they were waiting to move in and now they're sitting out on the corner, angry at us.
Or did they come in and rip some people's heads off so that they'd have a place to put us? That's my worry.
It didn't seem like they were expecting you guys, so I'm going to guess that was unlikely to have been the case, but who knows?
Sparkle's going to kind of do a perimeter to see if, like, we're being watched.
Yeah, be on the lookout for those giant creepy crawly things that were outside.
The lizards. Maybe barricade the doors?
You wanna give me a perception check?
Sure thing.
I had thought the lizards were part of the entourage.
Yeah, they were the security. So I don't know if they stayed or left, which is part of why I'm, doing my thing. 31 perception.
There are goblins around outside, but they don't seem to be like guarding the place or menacing the place or anything. They're just kind of walking around.
Cool. So yeah, just run-of-the-mill traffic as opposed to someone's been stationed here.
Yeah. There really doesn't seem to be, anybody like trying to keep you in here.
Cool.
And there's nobody trying to put a giant rubber band around the house?
Not yet.
All right. Well, we need to make sure that they don't do that.
Sparkle will come back in from her little surveillance and be like, we should be extremely careful what we say and do here, because, goblins could be killed making that happen.
Okay. Well, Magoobliet is the best.
Yes. I don't think we're being spied on right now.
Oh, okay.
But
well, here, have some pie.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Orm sets it back down.
Do we even know what's in the pie?
Some wiggly things.
That's comforting. So have we called for an exfiltration?
No, we're not going to do an exfiltration until the blockade is gone.
Yeah, our boat's in dock, so...
Yeah. No need to put other people in danger if Magoobliet is confident that his plan will work. If it doesn't, we can re-examine it.
I mean, is our boat safe at the dock with the crew?
He said everything within the city gates would be safe, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, within the city walls, so...
Yep.
Fair enough.
So I'm willing to trust him on that. He seems like a selfish, murderous psychopath, but not necessarily a liar.
The same could be said of several of us, so...
Really?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself a selfish, murderous psychopath?
Certainly not.
So, you guys, everything that happened earlier had happened in the first floor. But basically this entire building was worked on, presumably in case Magoobliet decided that he wanted to go upstairs. They didn't want him to walk into an empty room. So you guys have...
time to explore.
Yeah, you guys have 4 floors of space to kind of do whatever you want with.
Yeah. What is on the other floors?
Pretty much the same stuff. The other floors are a little bit more room oriented. Like the first floor is basically a giant living room with a cooking area and a bar, and a place for the band to hang out. All of the top, or the second, third, and fourth floors have some partitions to be like rooms, although there really aren't any beds per se, so much as there are just like bunches of pillows. And they have smaller lounges of sort of various stripes. We'll say the first floor is like a sitting, like a smoking room more than anything, just kind of big chairs. The third floor is much more of maybe a living room type area with like some couches and some chairs and like a coffee table type situation in the center. And we'll say the fourth floor just has actually has some hardwood floors and a particular section of it is a little bit raised, as though it were some sort of dance floor.
Nice.
Big mirrors on the wall?
No big mirrors on the wall.
Any evidence of light up squares on the floor?
Only when you step on them.
Oh, cool.
But no, there are none of those.
Dang.
I mean, this was done quickly. Presumably, if they had had a little bit more time to plan it out, they could have discoed this place up a lot more.
The full Studio 54, I think, is what we're relying on.
So if we poke around in any of those big piles of pillows, there's no stray goblins around, right? It's not like we have to like chase them out. Get out, you varmints!
Yeah, we'll say that Orem walks up to a pile of pillows and moves one, and there is in fact a stray goblin in there.
Whoa! What are you doing here?
It just kind of stares at him for a little bit, and then jumps at him and tries to throttle him.
Ah! Get him off! Get him off!
Try grab him and pull him off.
Yeah, it's not that hard, but then it tries to throttle Randus.
I cold cock him in the back of the head.
Okay.
Knock it off, you!
You guys hear shattering noise, like glass being shattered.
Downstairs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Run towards it.
Yep.
Okay. As you head down, you walk basically down the stairs, past this other room, and the windows there shatter, as well as dozens of goblins begin to pour into the building. They appear to have murderous intent, in that they are running right at you with either hands outstretched for throttling or actual weapons like knives, or like, maybe random implements like hammers or spades or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Sparkle will pull out her dagger but say, "Don't kill anyone."
Okay.
Sorting up over here.
All right. As this happens, basically 1,000 goblins like bubble up from downstairs.
Oh boy, that's a lot of goblins. Maybe we should get out of here.
I suppose.
Yep. But can we go down?
Not unless you have a way to get everybody through a bunch of goblins. I mean, Sakar technically can pass through a bunch of goblins, but
right,
other
but
people
not
can't
everyone
necessarily.
Were there windows on those upper floors?
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here.
Window time.
All right.
We're going to leap out windows.
We will go ahead and call this a skill challenge.
Oh, boy.
I knew it.
Okay. And I believe that you guys have not had a full night's rest since the last skill challenge.
Correct. So we've hit a milestone. Or not
Yep.
a milestone.
You will hit a milestone at the end of this.
Yes.
Now, is that whether we succeed or not?
Yeah. You just have to
cool.
have an encounter. Furthermore, you have to check to see if you spent an action point in the last one, because that would be relevant.
Sorry.
That's a good question.
In the last
Skill
Yeah,
challenge.
during the
Skills challenge,
blockade
yeah,
run,
I
if you
did.
spent an action point.
I did.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it'll be
Sorry.
between you and your conscience if you did not. Or if you did and
And
you
our
said you
listeners
didn't.
catch it, then they will
Yeah,
write
there's-
in to podcast it. Majorspoilers.com.
All right. Sorry for all that stupidity. I was trying to update my thing and it won't let me update it. It just wants to roll. So I'm now going to officially roll my initiative at this time, since I've rolled like 9 bits of nonsense.
Okay.
Okay. That's crap initiative. I'll take the earlier one.
Don't you get a roll too? You don't have a...
Not an initiative.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Not that
had
I'm
one of
aware
those. Okay.
I can re-roll any athletics check, and I believe now I can re-roll something else.
Perception?
Yes. Perception
Okay.
or insight, for that matter. But I don't use insight a lot because you're in the room and...
Orem.
I received a 41.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Randus.
16.
16. Sakar.
22.
Little Sparkle.
40.
And Cat.
Not last.
Yay!
20.
All right.
Close. Heck, you were almost third.
Okay, so as I said, a bunch of goblins are coming from downstairs. Some more are busting through the windows. The only obvious exits are maybe going upstairs some more.
Okay, then I will rush upstairs and tell everyone to follow. And along the way, if I see any little goblins pop out, I will zap them with a stun spell and knock them out. Like just like a simple magic.
Sure. I mean,
missiles.
literally all of your spells can not kill somebody
Yeah.
if you decide to not make them kill somebody.
I'm
so
going
that's
to
fine.
make them not kill somebody.
Okay.
I
So
will use
rolling
my
Arcana.
for that.
Okay, go for
I get
it.
a 37.
37's a success.
Yay.
All right, so Orm runs up, stunning some goblins, and sure enough, and the top floors are also being very quickly overrun by a sea of goblins.
Oh, no.
Little Sparkle.
Sparkle will basically try to assess the space, darting about, she's a master of infiltration and exfiltration, so trying to take a look at anything, if there's any even weaknesses in the walls or windows or any other basically non-obvious way for us to get out.
Perception?
Yeah, or thievery, whichever you think is more appropriate.
Yeah, I'll let you do it with thievery.
Sweet. I've got a 40.
40's a success. You don't see any in the immediate walls, but you are pretty sure that from observing the construction before that you guys can, actually the weakest point is probably the roof, because it has a flat roof and might actually have some water damage or something. So rather than going out the side, you guys might be able to go out from the top.
Well, she'll say, "Get to the roof."
All right, let's do Sakar.
What's the heaviest thing in this room that isn't a goblin?
You probably.
It's probably a couch.
All right.
But also, there's a lot of categories before we get to the first goblin. Literally, all of you except for Orem are probably heavier than the goblins.
Okay. So Sakar is going to grab the couch and hurl it in a very athletic fashion towards the ones who are swooping up from underneath, in the hopes of perhaps slowing them down or pushing them back, or maybe just giving them something bigger to swarm around. That'll slow them down for a minute while my friends run for the exits.
Sounds good.
Sounds athletical to me, right?
Yep.
Hefting a couch with my tremendous might. 41.
41 is a success.
Now, did you say that there were stairs going up, or we have to bust through the ceiling?
You would have to bust through the ceiling.
Okay.
I mean, there are stairs going up to the 4th floor, but then there's no ladder or there's no roof access.
Okay.
So yes, Sakar. Essentially, as you guys are running up the stairs, Sakar runs into the room and chucks a couch down the stairs, which definitely slows down the stair contingent of the goblins. But there's still a lot more.
Yeah, it's a success. It counts.
Yep. Cat.
Nice. Streetwise, kind of work our way through the goblins, through the crowd.
No, this is like an attacking horde.
Okay. Then let's go with my go-to of insight. Figure out where goblins are coming from. Figure out the path of least resistance.
Okay.
It's a 38.
Okay. 38 is a success. Well, they're all coming in through the obvious points of access. So windows, doors, basically the front and back doors downstairs. So they're they're not like busting through the walls yet, but there does seem to be an unending amount of them. Also, Ket, with that roll, also notices the fact that they're really not making any noise. Like, they are in the sense that they're like clawing through things and swarming over things, but there's no like nyanyas or screaming or
And they're not
growling
making-
or anything.
they're not
just
making that
coming at
noise
you
we heard
completely
before?
quiet. Huh?
They're not making that noise we heard before.
You are not hearing. These guys are not emitting any noise from their mouths. Other than maybe some huffing as they try to, move a couch out of the way.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It's going to take us to Randus.
Well, I believe goblins have some sensitivity to light.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to make up some sort of like rocket-propelled flare that I can control and try to steer to make a path that we can follow to try to clear a path for us using
Of course
Arcana.
you will.
Oh, sounds good.
An RPG. Randus is going to invent the power boat.
Pistonella already beat it.
Holy
wow,
crap.
nat 20.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's a 56.
All right.
That kind of wins, yeah.
Well, that is a success. We'll say that Randus not only whips up a flare, but also some stylish shades for everybody.
No, I wish I would have done diplomacy.
And, yep, just shoots out and kind of carves a path through some stunned goblins.
Stunned goblins.
But again, it like flashes and they like cover themselves, but there's no like shrieking or anything.
Hmm.
And that's going to take us to the top of the round.
Top of the round.
You guys
So-
are doing very, very well.
So did everyone partake in the food and drink?
I think
Yes.
somebody had at least something.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anybody specifically stated that they were not going to be drinking.
Nope.
Okay. Orem has been drugged before, as we've seen many times over our adventures. And so I would like to use possibly the knowledge of drug interactions with the bodies from previous experience to check and see if this is all a hallucination, maybe using history.
That would be that would either be an
Nice.
endurance check to overcome poison
Okay.
or a heal check to basically figure the interaction of drugs. But I'll tell you right now that while this is happening, a goblin grabs Orem's hair and smashes his face into a wall. So this is all actually happening.
Okay. Then,
a very realistic hallucination.
well, they could be. I could have actually tripped on something and fallen on my face.
You're just rationalizing it.
Instead, how about I watched them construct the this building, and I also know a little bit about building from having to reconstruct a lot of things back in the Feywild. How
Sure.
about history to find a weak point in the ceiling to blast a hole open?
Nice.
Uh,
Sounds like a
Architectural
perception or
yeah, I feel like that would either be perception
theory.
or the actual check to blast the hole.
Well, I already used Arcana,
Right.
so I guess I'm down
I mean,
to.
you got a sword if you want to do a
Start-
spin flip up there to score the ceiling and get it open.
Sure, let's do that
With like
Acrobatics?
acrobatics.
with acrobatics. Yeah,
There you go.
nat 20
There you
Woo!
go. That's
Yeah.
a success right there, baby.
at a 44. I hope so, but I get a nat 20. I get a 44. Randus gets a nat 20 and gets a 56.
Well, yeah, but Randus also has plus 954 to
Arcana.
any brain skills.
All right. You guys make it to the 4th floor. Orem jumps up and does a
Jagged
super
sword
duper
slash.
Zorro at the ceiling, which just completely crumbles apart, and you guys are able to make it to the roof. When you guys get to the roof, you can see that the entire building is literally crawling with goblins, as there are goblins crawling up the sides, trying to get to you guys.
Ugh.
And it was to Little Sparkle.
So could I make a streetwise check to potentially basically look at what of the city I could see from where we're at and chart us something of a path to get from where we are to our boat?
To your boat?
Or to anywhere safe, that doesn't seem to be covered in goblins, but basically do a assessing for a roof jumping.
Sure, yeah. I'll allow it.
I have a 40.
40 will do it. You can basically get everybody on the same page about what roof to jump up to. And the moment you guys are gearing up to jump, you see that the swarm of goblins begins to compensate, and they themselves begin to jump from the lower buildings to the building that you guys are now kind of approaching as you jump. So basically the swarm is following you, or in a sense almost anticipating the direction you guys are going.
Oh.
Yeah,
These guys are
makes
As
sense.
to Sakar.
All right, so as they're leaping and doing their swarmy thing, these are dozens and hundreds of these things, right?
Yeah, at this point, there are easily a couple thousand goblins that you guys have seen or can see.
Okay. So there are some that are leaping, and of course we're trying to leap at the same time. As my friends are leaping, I do not want goblins leaping on them, and the only way that I can see to keep that from happening is to terrify the goblins into submission with my mighty powers. So Sakar is going to draw upon the full power of all of his abilities to look as horrifying and intimidating and as flaming thingama dragon psychotic guy monster with fangs and a really, really, really killer pair of sideburns can be. And I'm going to try and intimidate them to getting out of our way, at least long enough for us to try and make it to the next roof and escape.
Okay. Well, it took
Let's-
longer than I expected, but that's going to be an automatic failure.
Oh no.
Is it?
I was wondering that.
Sakar turns around and does the scariest face in the world, and he is immediately mobbed by goblins who do not seem to even register that he's doing anything.
So brain skills are brainy.
Well, social skills
Yeah.
don't work on
You-
these guys.
I
Got it.
considered doing a diplomacy check and thought that might be an automatic failure, or for that matter, a bluff.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
All right. So it is to Ket, and Sakar is overwhelmed by goblins.
I'm a Arcana and set Sakar on fire.
Oh no.
It's always a good
That's-
call.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right.
Well, this is more about the no killing goblins.
Eh.
I mean, I'm
Eh.
using magic. I can make it non-lethal
Yeah.
fire.
Just scorch them. Just scorch them.
Less than lethal fire.
Less than lethal fire.
Oh,
Oof.
Mm,
All right.
can
That's
you?
going to fail, yeah?
I'm going to an action point.
'Kay.
38.
Better.
All right. That'll be a success. So you guys basically have gotten yourself a couple of buildings over before Sakar gets overwhelmed, and as a second wave comes up, Ket will basically fire blast Sakar and trying to get the goblins on top of him in the blast radius. And it kind of happens a little too well, and the building you're on begins to collapse.
Oh, God.
And is also now on fire. You guys are all able to either backflip or comically clang your way to safety. Your choice.
I want to go with A.
Okay. We'll say yet another building, as the collapsed building basically falls on the swarm, which begins to dissipate. And some of the goblins that are actually on fire are now screaming and running away. as the dust and smoke from that building collapsing begins to clear from your vantage point, sort of way, way, way off over there, you see a trio of figures who seem slender and have flax golden hair, who are monitoring the scene, and they kind of turn away from you guys and disappear.
Ooh.
At which point, any remaining goblins that were heading in your direction suddenly like stop and start looking around and scratch their heads and look very confused.
Was my magic eye still active?
It's been
Your magic eye?
Been more than 24 hours.
It's been like a day.
It's been like a couple days.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the try? Darn it.
Sparkle size.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it's clear that those creatures were under the control.
Yep.
Yes.
Similar to how Orem has been able to charm people, presumably.
Should we still make our way back to the ship?
No. Well, we should
Alert
maybe
somebody.
try to retrace back to where those Eldrin were.
Maybe.
I don't know that we'll be able to track them since they, whatever it is you did away.
Yeah. Don't.
Does there seem
either.
to be any clear path to even get to where they were?
I mean, there is. Once you're down on the streets, you can just walk a few blocks to where they were. They themselves were also on top of a building.
Is there any way to get in touch with some head person that's not Magoobliet?
There was a guy walking around that like led you to this place.
Did he have a name?
You guys did not
Did
ask him his
we-
name.
Yes. I was
Okay.
gonna say.
Do we remember where we encountered him to where we might be able to try and encounter him
we
again?
encountered him at the docks. We could
Yeah.
make our way back to the ship and see if he or someone else could find him. Why don't we retrace back to where the Eldrin were and see if we can pick up anything from there before that trail goes hard cold, and then we can give someone else a heads up that the assassins have come for us
Yeah.
All right.
and they're using goblins as weapons.
Or
Yeah,
mind
trying
control as weapons, so...
Different tactics, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll hurry over there as quickly as we can, and maybe
Yep.
Ket and I and Sakar will have to use our... don't you have a teleport thing?
I have a number of teleport
like
things.
a phase step that we could get through this crowd a little bit easier? And
I mean, the crowd's dispersing.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, then we will
And,
all
if
rush
it
as a
comes
group.
right down to it, I can just Sakar Kur over there. That's a thing. Hey! Backflip over people, leap into the air. It's fine. It's my thing.
Throw 2 vines at a building and pull yourself to it.
Right. Exactly. You feel me.
Should have gone with spider instead of vampire.
Well, I can always upgrade. We've got another level change coming. We just met a god. I'm sure we've got experience.
I feel
I
like,
think the right god to talk to about changing to
Lol.
spider isn't on our side.
yeah.
She will be when we beat her up and make fun of her and give her a noogie and flush her head.
That's how
All right.
That
it
what's
usually
going to
works.
happen. Yeah.
I've got some high school rage built up. But anyway, yes. Let's travel to where the things were the thing.
All right. You guys hustle down the street and find yourselves at a significantly taller building. This one is maybe 12 stories tall, where these guys were hanging out. It is also abandoned.
I'm going to scale it.
Okay. Sakar begins scaling the building.
I see if I can open the front door.
The front door falls apart when you touch
Cool.
it.
No, I do.
Oh.
Gauntlets of swimming and climbing, so I'll just follow right along behind Scar.
Okay.
Go inside and see if I can find stairs that aren't rotted.
There's a door.
Recovery.
Spiral
Yeah, I got
staircase.
him.
It's fine.
Yeah, you can make your way up. All the stairs here are like stone based, so
Cool.
I'll just walk up the wall.
okay.
Guys have to be fancy.
All right. So eventually everybody makes it to the roof.
Probably need to use some Arcana detection to see if there was any lingering portal remains or something around.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
33?
I mean, Orem doesn't detect anything right away. You do spot a circle made out of chalk and something in the center of it that appears to be burnt up.
Mm. Can we tell what it is?
Yeah. Right.
Don't walk in the circle without breaking it first.
Yeah, it appears to be the remnants of some sort of gemstone. There are still little bits of it that are sort of a pinkish purplish color, but the majority of it looks like it was, burnt from inside.
You better take that for analysis, Randus.
Is this a spell component, or were they doing a ritual?
Definitely a ritual seems like what they were doing.
They didn't leave any notes behind that said, turn away now, or?
No.
A scroll of whatever we're up to.
Scroll of neener, neener, neener.
Seriously, this is why we're trying to kill you?
Yeah. Any ways I can tell by the circle what manner of ritual or that it was?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Any hints?
49?
Oh yeah,
Did you
you now
say
know
that-
the ritual. Add it to your book.
Well, if you had to guess, this is probably the final point of some sort of very, what do I want to say? Like some sort of very involved ritual, likely to either, judging from the type of stone and the circle, largely to either read somebody's mind or take possession of somebody's mind or something similar.
Yeah, I think that's how they put the whammy on the goblins. I was kind of hoping maybe that was their escape route, but I'm pretty sure that was just normal Eladrin.
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
Sakar is going to check to see the nature of the nature in this area, and if there's anything that denatures the nature and tells us how they got away.
Yep, go ahead and roll it.
How's a 34 grab you?
34 is pretty decent in the sense that, if you check for airspeed and look around and you were to say push Orem about 10 feet that way, he'd be able to teleport to that roof and then maybe jump down and then maybe take off running in literally any direction he wanted.
So I convey that information.
And
the fact that they are clearly probably gone.
For a
Could
city
you
under
track
siege.
them from where you think they might have teleported to?
Worth a try.
I mean, that's definitely. You could try it.
So I'll do a face step over there.
Okay.
How far is it?
At least 10 squares away.
No, you can't teleport 10 squares.
No, I think it's only 6.
Yeah. I think Orem specifically can do 6. Maybe he has a feat that lets him do 6, but it's usually 5. So, yes, it is, 25 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is plenty,
Mm-hmm.
Sakar is just going to jump it.
Is there anything that happens when I do my face step?
Yeah, you briefly travel back to the Feywild.
Okay. No magical visions, no weirdness going on.
Da-da-day, singing a song. That's all I can do. And then you're back in Snapstown.
I don't even know what that was, and I like it.
I just like to think that instead of Nightcrawler appearing in a burst of sulfur, it's always in a burst of pollen.
Yeah.
Potpourri. Oh, well, maybe not.
everywhere.
Ragweed. Poof.
Yeah.
Everyone's covered in
Right.
orange dust.
If you know what I was referencing, write it down in the comments. I'm sure you won't get it because I'm not I can't sing. I can't hold a tune to save my life. Yeah, Orem teleports over there. Sakar jumps over. Go ahead and give me a... We are in a city.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a survival check, but subtract 2 from it. Or sorry, a
make
nature check. Nature check. But subtract 2.
Could I assist or make a streetwise check as a complement to it?
You can do a separate streetwise check.
Cool.
You need me to make a nature check, -2?
Yep.
Oh, I can do that.
And if anybody wants to help, they can.
I'm gonna go with the streetwise check as well.
Okay.
That may be the first time I've ever seen Sam roll a 1.
It's done. It happens on occasion.
It happens.
Yep.
There's like a 1 in 20-ish chance.
Yeah,
for it to happen.
exactly. It happens exactly as often as you'd expect it would.
Yeah. Okay, Sam, do you got any rerolls there, or?
Yeah, I'll use always a natural to reroll that.
Okay. That's an
call.
encounter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a 42.
Okay.
Haha. We tied.
Ah. Yeah.
Well, so immediately Sakar runs into the problem that when your quarry can teleport, it makes things very, very difficult. But, you might say, well, wait a minute. Eldrin can only teleport once per encounter. To which I would say, how many teleports do any of you have?
I have 0.
Yep.
I have 4.
Kind of.
Right. So
Infinite?
it's like these guys, you should assume, have anywhere between 1 and 12 additional teleports.
Oh man.
Seeing as how at least one of you can teleport at will.
Oh, Will's not even here. Will's busy.
What if it's a warlock?
So Ket and Little Sparkle, once you get to the second vantage point, can see that, first off, yes, kudos to whoever picked this building. It's got a lot of, it basically plugs into a major artery as far as, an urban artery. So it's,
That sounds less painful.
yeah. So it's full of hip hop.
Syncopated heartbeat.
So you can see clear open paths that would lead to the docks, clear open paths that would lead farther into town to that giant hole that you saw earlier, that would allow you to double back towards the building where you were, and any number of small alleyways and other things like that. So if you wanted to do a thing where you guys spent like several hours trying to figure out exactly which way these guys went, you probably could. But the important thing is that these guys have went.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to be able to actually catch up to them.
Nope. Not with they're teleporting.
No, but I'm curious because if they were able to make it into this city, that would indicate that Makubliet's forces might have a weakness.
I mean, we've already gotten forces into here ourselves. They probably snuck in the same way Saloth's guys did.
Honestly, remember these guys, a lot of them can fly.
Yeah, or they launched a little cloud thingy down here.
And they teleport.
Yeah, or ritually turn themselves invisible. Who knows?
That does happen.
Yeah, it's almost like a small commando of magic users would be almost impossible to keep out of a city.
Oh yeah, it's almost like it's like one of the most dangerous things in the world.
Yep.
Especially at epic level.
Especially at epic level. All right. Well, we'll have to keep watch tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, back at the boat.
Or back at our... Wait, did our building get destroyed, or was it the building?
Yeah.
Your building didn't itself get destroyed, but you're pretty sure it's now, it's a solid layer of debris from, maybe up to a foot, just from 1,000 goblins crashing in.
Back to the boat it is.
Also, you
And we
wouldn't be
kinda took out
surprised
the
if there's just like a bunch of dead goblins in there that just got crushed by other goblins.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, back to the boat. We can see if we can find someone in authority to report what happened. I would guess that Mogubliet doesn't really take... I mean, I don't know what Goblin life seems to be cheap, but he might, be somewhat proprietary about it.
Yeah. They're his goblins, not someone else's.
Exactly.
You guys travel back to the boat or back to the docks. And there is just somebody there on duty. It's another hobgoblin.
Hello. We need to report a attack.
You need to report an attack? Who'd you attack?
Oh, no, we were attacked.
Oh. Okay. And gets a pad. So, how many goblins did you kill?
None directly, though the building we were in partially collapsed. We haven't been back to find out how many died.
Oh, okay. Do you think maybe less than 200 goblins died?
I would say
yes.
that is a likely estimate, yes.
Seems reasonable.
Writes it down, sets down the pad, kind of goes back to what he was doing.
So that's like a low priority incident then?
Oh, yeah. We have mining accidents that kill more people than that.
The thing that you might want to note is that the goblins were being ritually mind controlled, and it was able to get, I don't know, at least 1,000 of them. So we don't know if the culprits will do it again, but they could.
Oh, what were they after?
Oh, trying to kill us.
You guys, specifically?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, did you see the mind controllers?
Yes.
We did.
Well, what they look like?
Oh, Eladrin. Basically like him, but,
Like him,
not him.
Huh?
If it helps, we can point to the direction where the ritual was conducted.
I mean, yeah, if you got a cross street.
From our streetwising, did we see street signs that would indicate where we were?
No, but you can tell them roughly where it was.
Okay, I'll do so.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that a bunch of Eladrin got in here and mind controlled a bunch of goblins to try to kill you.
Correct.
Correct.
All right, I'll put in the report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Might be worth it to maybe station some more guards around our ship.
You want me to station more guards around your ship?
In case we're attacked again.
He kind of looks at all of you slowly.
I think we're fine. We just really wanted you to be aware that there are dangerous wizards in your city, and they're using your populace as weapons.
He scratches his head. All right. I mean, that's what they're for, but I guess it's a little annoying when they're used against guests.
Yes. And, if they could also possibly be used against other people here. We are the target, but we don't know what these assassins will do.
I see what you're saying. All right, well, I'm going to go turn this in and see if I can get someone else to cover the rest of my shift.
We'll be here. Thank you. What was your name?
That's why I'm doing. I'm Lettuce Ears.
Lettuce Ears. Well, thank you again.
And walks off.
Yeah, we don't want goblin guards.
Yeah, that would
give whoever might control them more ammunition.
Precisely.
And they'd likely just be collateral in any fight that we had against these assassins. The goblins don't seem super tough, individually at least.
Well, there's always the option of throwing a building.
Yeah. When you build your giant slingshot, let me know.
We hit the last batch with a building. I'm not certain we couldn't do it again easily.
Especially with the state of some of these buildings.
Infrastructure has definitely suffered.
What time of day is it by this point?
It's pretty late in the evening.
Why don't we set some watches and get some rest?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We go on the ship,
Okay.
and we need to make sure that the captain knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the captain's there. Like, oh, back already?
Well, good news, bad news. Good news is Magublia is yes. Bad news is we're stuck here until they deal with this barricade, and there's also Eldrin Assassin in town again.
No.
Or still.
Yeah, we don't even know. I mean, I guess they're not the same Eldrin Assassins because we killed most of the last batch. Who knows? One of the ones that got away might be here. But how many of these guys can they have?
Well, if they keep getting away, then it doesn't really matter.
Only a couple have gotten away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's the situation. They mind controlled a bunch of goblins and sent them at us. So we're gonna take guard shifts and hope that they don't come at us again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty rough. I mean, obviously you are in charge of this mission and you might want to stay here, but I think you'd be extremely vulnerable here. If they're specifically going after you guys. I mean, they didn't come after the ship.
Sure, and we're
You'd
putting
think
the
they would
ship
have
in
coordinated
jeopardy.
that.
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but we're like pinned
Yep.
right now,
right.
so they could very easily just, I don't know, drain the astral substance from the lock and cause it to crash down, or that I can see 1,000 things that they could do without even engaging us.
No, that's smart. We should just try to find some place to lay low for the night.
That's what I would suggest. I mean, I know that they wouldn't be much help in a fight, but you want some of the crew to come with you?
No, I
Just
wouldn't
extra
want to put.
eyes?
I don't think I would want to put anyone else in danger, especially if they're using mind control. They could be liabilities.
That's true.
Keep an eye out for non-goblins.
Okay.
All right, I'll try to find us a place to stay.
Sounds good. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll all just stay together as a group.
Yeah, I'm going to try to
Yeah.
find some place inconspicuous for us to hole up.
Okay.
Is that going to be stealth or streetwise to do that?
I
Is that
would
even
let
necessary?
either streetwise or thievery, honestly, to find a hidey hole.
I'll do streetwise. It's slightly better.
I'll help.
Okay.
Well, nat 20.
Nice.
Sweet.
That
That
makes
works.
48.
All right. 58 technically with Ket's help.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, that
Aha.
would just be a +2.
Yeah,
Just-
just so a 50.
But I helped.
We can almost get to Randus levels of skills
Yeah.
with the two of us.
As a
Combined.
team.
So you guys, Little Sparkle finds, a pretty nondescript building. If you don't have streetwise or thievery trained, you might not know why she picked it, but it's, both inconspicuous and defensible. And, she spots a couple ways off of it. So you guys can basically crash in this abandoned building and be pretty confident that that if something comes for you, you'd be able to get out very fast.
Okay. I will take
right.
the first watch.
I can take the second.
I'll take last.
Okay.
I will take a nap.
Me too.
All right. Give me a perception check for Orem.
23.
Ugh.
Does Orem do anything during his watch?
I keep my eyes open and I look all around our area to make sure that no one is approaching that shouldn't be approaching.
I mean, there's definitely a few times when there's like some goblins around, but they're just kind of minding their own business.
Yeah, then I just kind of ignore them.
All right. First shift goes by uneventfully.
Hooray. Orm goes to meditate. Wake up, Randus.
Okay. I'm up.
All right, give me a perception check for Randus.
Okay. 35?
All right. Does Randus do anything during his shift?
Not really. Just kind of slink around, peeking out windows, looking up and down the streets, on rooftops.
Well, that shift goes by uneventfully.
All right. Sparkle.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Cool.
I'm going back to sleep.
Alright.
Good
All
night.
right, give me a perception check for Little Sparkle.
27.
Oh man, these are so good. By which I mean bad.
Even Tokies?
What does Little Sparkle do overnight?
She'll probably just kind of case the perimeter, listening to the noises of the city, looking out for any vulnerable points.
Okay. Little Sparkle shift goes by uneventfully as well.
Cool.
All right, well, I think that's where we will end this week's episode. With everyone taking a nice nap, getting recharged.
Sleeping off the goblin attack.
Yes.
Swarms of goblins in your sleep.
All right, everybody, you have a great week. We will talk with you soon. And in the meantime, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.